In this video we'll take a look at how the main list control that contains the products is implemented. So you can see here we have a list control, and each row in the list is rendered over here using this freeform layout. So let's go now and take a look at how this was done. So we'll go back to design mode and then go to the products list, and we'll see that the product list is based on static data, and here's the data, some JSON data over there. But the list itself, if we go to the list properties here, we can see that we've chosen a freeform layout, and then here in the list layout is the template that renders the list control itself. So you can see that in the list of available placeholders we have all of the fields that are specified in the JSON data over here. So this JSON data has all of these fields, and those fields are available to us in the template. The template itself makes use of client-side templating. So you can see, for example, over here we have the image over there, which is the image field, but we want the actual data in the image, so we use data image. So the image field itself contains a URL. So if we go back over there and look at this URL, we see that the image is just a URL that points to a image on Amazon S3, and by using data::image we actually just get the raw data in the list data as opposed to a formatted image control. So to display the image we use an image tag, and we set the source property of this image to data image. Then we have the title and the company name, and then we have the item price, which has been formatted using the number format to have a $ and 2 decimal places. So this formatting directive over here is defined by using over there a formatting directive, and you can see there's the formatting directives. So the part that gets interesting over here is we're saying that if the price is not equal to the manufacturer's suggested retail price, then we're going to basically show the manufacturer's suggested retail price with a strike through. So if we go back and look at the list right now, we'll see that basically that the prices over here have a strike through over them. So this is the manufacturer's suggested retail price, and since it's not equal to the selling price, we're rendering it with a strike through. So if we go back to our list again and look at how that was done, go back to our list properties over here, and we can see that the class name that is being used to display the manufacturer's suggested retail price uses a class called item price strike through, and this class here displays the price with a line through it. Then what we're going to say here is that if prime is true, so prime is a logical field, then we're going to basically display the prime logo. So that uses item price to display the prime logo, and we'll go back and take a look at how that is done. This is using a image sprite sheet, so we'll go back and take a look at the item price class definition a little later. And then the next thing that I want to point out is how the actual stars are displayed. So if we go back and we run the component again, we'll see that for each item in the list we're drawing the number of stars. So you can see this item here has 4 stars, and this one here has 4.5 stars, and we have 4 stars, and there we have again 4.5 stars. This one has 5 stars, etc. So if we go back into design mode right now and we look at the products list, we can see that in the data we have a rating average, which is the number of stars. So we'll go now in the next video and discuss how this value here is turned into the visualization showing the icons for the number of stars. So we're continuing now discussing how the list control has been set up, and we're discussing now how the star rating is shown. So there's a value in the data, which is a numeric value that shows the star rating. So you can see it's 3.9, 4.4, then it's 3.7, 4.2, etc. And so now let's go back and look at the template over here. So we can see that the star rating is shown over here, and the way it's rendered is by calling a function called rating and passing into this rating function the average rating, which is the number of stars, and then next to that we have the total number of people that have actually rated this particular product. So if we go now to the JavaScript section over here, we can see that we have a function called rating that takes as its argument v, which is passed into it. So if we go over here, we can see here's this function called rating, and what's passed into it is rating average. So we can refer to rating average in the function using the variable v, which is passed into it. And because this function has been defined at the this object level, we can reference this function rating in the template by using the scope prefix. So square bracket scope.rating is a reference to this rating function, and if we look at the rating function, we can see that we're using the SVG icons called star empty, star half full, and star full, and then based on the value of v, we're determining how many half empty stars, full stars, and empty stars to show, and then we basically just do a stars.join over there. So this, what we're returning is an HTML that displays the number of stars basically that should be displayed. So using a combination of the empty stars, the half full stars, and then the full stars. So let's now go and take a look at the Amazon Prime icon over here. So you can see here there's item Prime. So we'll go back now to our style sheet, and if we look over here now for item Prime over here, let's go see there. So there we go. So there's item Prime, and you can see that what item Prime is doing is picking out a particular portion of this image sprite sheet. So there's the image sprite sheet that we've captured from Amazon. I'm going to just go and copy that and then go over to a browser right now and paste in that sprite sheet. So you can see now that what we see in the bottom in this in the browser here is the sprite sheet, and the CSS allows us to pick out just that portion of the image. So the sprite sheet is used to display the Amazon Prime icon. So the full layout of the list control is all done using a client-side template in the freeform layout of the list over here, and you can see here that everything is done using an HTML with placeholders for the data injected into the HTML. So if we go back now and just run it, we'll see that each row in the list is rendered using that freeform template. So there's the freeform template over there, and there are the number of stars, there's the total number of ratings, there's the manufacturer suggested retail price that has been striked through, etc. So with client-side templating and a freeform layout, we can create a highly stylized display in the list control.